Hey guys, welcome to this video, and it's Mind Spill Still. And today I just want to talk about emotions. It's something I just thought about when I woke up this morning. I'm like, that's a great topic. Now I always thought about how emotions always lead our actions every day. Whatever we do, it's based off emotions. Whatever we feel, it's emotions we're feeling. If you're happy, that's an emotion. If you're sad, that's an emotion. And all these emotions always drive us to take action in the direction in which we're catering for, basically. Because when you're hungry, your emotions is gonna push you to go get some food. When you're happy, your emotions is gonna push you to celebrate and be joyous. When you're sad, when you're depressed, and negative emotions like that, you know how your emotions always lead you to do certain things you don't even understand. And I feel like emotions are like the driving force for everything we do in life. If you want to succeed, you got to be passionate. When you're passionate and you desire what you want to accomplish, that's an emotion as well. It's going to lead you to take action. The emotions is going to determine whatever thoughts you have regarding that certain situation. So it's a very, very key factor in whatever actions we take in life. And emotions is basically the short form for energy in motion. That's the energy we feel at that time. Emotion trying to drive us to do something. The strongest emotion is love, because when people get into love, it's a whole different ball game. Some people get into relationships where they become a totally different person because they found somebody they truly love. It could be positive, it could be negative. It just depends on the emotions, how strong the emotions are, and what direction you want to, put that emotion in. When you're passionate about something, if you're passionate about your goals, definitely the emotion is going to drive you to go accomplish that goal or whatever project you're trying to accomplish. But when you're driven in a negative sense, those emotions are going to push you into things like loss, addictions, manipulations, and different low vibrational activities like that. So emotions play a very, very crucial role in us building our reality, because when you're passionate about something, that's an emotion right there. So you got to know how to channel that emotion into whatever you're passionate about and just be dedicated. Once you can feel an emotion for a certain period of time, automatically it becomes like autopilot. Because when people are in a relationship for a very long time, that existing connection that they built, it's always there, regardless of how far or regardless of if they break up. They just know that emotion is still there. That's why it takes so hard for some people to get over another person, because that emotion is so strong that they can't even shake it off. It's always yearning for whatever thing that drives that emotion. So if you can channel that energy, and it comes in every aspect, whatever type of emotions, it comes like that. So if you can channel that into something productive or something dedicated, you can always accomplish whatever you put your mind to. And that's one thing I just wanted to let people know, like, regardless of whatever you're going through, you can always change your situations. It just depends on how you feel about that certain situations. How you feel is going to determine how you think, your perspective. And that's another thing you got to work on, your perspective. You got to know how to have a very logical perspective of certain things. But that's the thing, emotions always override logic. That's the thing. That's why I say emotion is a very, very strong feeling. That's why you got to know how to channel it into something productive or just a very positive aspect. I was checking online yesterday, asking ChatGPT yesterday, the difference between desire and temptation. It's the same thing, but temptation is led by instant gratification and desire is led by purpose. So when you desire something, you're chasing it, or you're trying to accomplish whatever that is for a bigger cause. It's bigger than you at that point. Once you desire it, definitely I want to accomplish this so I could do this, so it could lead to that, because that's how desire is, that's how purpose is. But when you're thinking from a place of temptation, you just want to satisfy that urgent need or that sudden urge at that point. So it's never something that benefits you in the long term. So that's one of the key things emotions play. Like, emotions are very, very strong. If you're not aware of it, emotions are very, very crucial in creating the life you want. That's why you gotta be emotionally smart. You gotta know how to read people's emotions. You gotta know how to discern people's energy at a certain time, because some people just get into situations where they're not even paying attention to the room. Like they can't even read the room, and they just get in there and act however they act, and it just shifts the energy in the room. So, but when you're emotionally intelligent and you can get into spaces and know how to read the room, literally, and you can tell whatever emotions is going on at that time, you know you can always maneuver in certain situations like that. Even lately, I feel like I've been picking up on people's energy when I go to crowded places, you know, like when I go to the stores, the grocery store sometimes, and I walk in there, like I could go in there with a clear head, clear mindset and everything, and once I walk in there, I start getting anxious because I can feel the energy of the room. It's different people's emotions, you know, going all around. And once me being very, very sensitive to energy, once I walk in there, I can pick up on everything. So I'm always feeling very, very uneasy at that point, and I start getting anxious. My heart starts beating faster. So I know I can pick up on energy and sense the energy of the room. That's why I try to minimize how I just interact with anybody. So I'm just locked in. Unless you have something for me, that's when I'm gonna pay attention. But apart from that, I'm just locked in, just focused on me, because I know energy can be transferred to me. It can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred. So, and once it's transferred to you, it's gonna determine your emotions, energy, emotions. So that's definitely why you gotta be aware of how you feel, how you think, and different things. Like you just gotta be aware, basically. And once you can learn how to put these things on lock, definitely you can create reality based on how you feel, or based on your perspective or your desires. So yeah, that's it, bro. I just woke up and I just wanted to talk about that. So if you're watching me for the first time, it's Mindspill, and I appreciate y'all for supporting me still. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, thank you so much.